OML. Holding tight to your quiet resentment. Oh my God. Just beautiful poetry. Just stunning. Okay. Hello, welcome to this video. My name's Dan, aka Lucin. I'm a singer-songwriter, music producer person, and today I'm going to be reacting to Taylor Swift's The Tortured Poets Department. Let's go. Oh my God. Okay, so for anyone not in the know, Taylor is today, I'm filming, it is Friday the 19th, and Taylor has decided that she's gonna make this a double album. Great. 31 songs. And I've been thinking about it all the morning, like trying to figure out, okay, what does this mean in terms of like my reaction? And so I've decided to split it into two. I did think, oh, I could film the whole thing and have a whole big, like, get it all out in one go. But to be honest, like by the end of like a normal album reaction, I'm starting to get tired. I start losing focus, and I want it to be like a really good quality the whole way through. I want to be able to analyze it properly. Like, and this is Taylor I'm talking about. Like, you know, this is like really, there's always a lot to dissect. There's always a lot of lyrics to go through. And so I'm going to film them separately. So if you're watching this on YouTube, the uncut version of actually this video and all my reactions to the bonus songs will be up on Patreon when you're watching this. The edit to the second half, the second of 15 songs, will be up on YouTube at some point. I don't know when. Okay, but I know that, like, yes, on Patreon you can watch the entire thing, and it's with no cuts in any of the songs, so you can enjoy every song as I enjoy it as well. The link is in the description. The link will also be in the top comment. Cool. Okay, well, with that out of the way, literally know nothing. Obviously, she likes to put out albums now without any lead single, so we don't even get a tease as to what the sound's going to be like. I'm hoping for something Folklore Evermore-y with maybe the heartbreak of Red. That would be a beautiful combo. Oh, it's very exciting. But before we get into the video, a few other bits. If you're new to the channel, then make sure to subscribe, and also make sure to check out my entire Taylor Swift journey. I've reacted to every single thing, I think. And I also have a podcast. My first ever episode was on Taylor Swift with my Swiftie bestie. It is called Criminally Underrated, where we talk about 3 underrated songs from whichever artist we're focusing on. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link for you in the description and probably in the top comment and stuff. Although, I don't know, there's going to be lots of links. Just look in the description for all my links. Because also, I've got new music coming out as well. I've got a new song coming out on Tuesday. It's a very busy month for me, okay? But I'd love it if you guys would be able to check out my new music. An actual tease for that would have been the song at the beginning of the video. So if you like the sound of that, make sure to pre-save my new song and check it out on Tuesday. Woo! And everyone just keeps on dropping bonus material. I can't keep up. I'm going to have to skip Dula Peep. And I didn't want to, but I might have to. First song, this is Fortnight with Post Malone. I know this is the single. Okay, let's go.
I was supposed to be sent away, but...
Okay. Sonically, Midnight's 2 at the moment.
What about your quiet treason?
Ooh. For a fortnight. Okay, so it's not about Joe?
February.
Oh, shit. So it really is about last February.
Effects were temporary.
So it's about a short-lived fling.
It's ruined
Shit.
my life.
Wow, okay.
I touched you.
I like that little, like, bridge moment.
I wanna kill her.
I'm enjoying the kind of mood. It's not blowing me away like I kind of thought a single would.
Good neighbor.
I mean, some amazing lyrics.
I love you. It's ruining my life.
I like this concept of I love you or it's ruining my life. We've got 2 weeks of just intense romance, and the intensity is too much. Like, it's messing me up, you know? Ooh. I'm liking the kind of leveling up that it's going through. Cool. So sonically, it does feel like an evolution on from the Midnight style. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Cool. I really loved the way that that kind of picked up dynamically. I kind of, at the beginning, was kind of expecting a little bit more of a song that kind of more punched you in the face, but actually like the kind of slow build of it was really quite nice. And I really loved how like later on the layers of vocals just kind of started tumbling on top of one another, like all these little thoughts that are just like swirling around in her head and just like, yeah, layering up and tumbling over one another. Like it really kind of had that sense to it. Obviously, we've only got one song so far, but I wasn't expecting to go down the synth route. And it does feel like we're doing that once again. Yeah, it sounds very Jack Antonoff-y at the moment, which I'm a little bit like, I was supposed to be sent away, but they forgot to come and get me. I was a functioning alcoholic till nobody noticed my new aesthetic. All of this to say, I hope you're okay, but you're the reason. No one here's to blame. But what about your quiet treason? Something about like being forgotten, being left alone. It's almost like you're being sent away to boarding school, but like no one actually came and get you. It's like being forgotten about. Maybe there's a sense of her like within her like level of fame, she's almost like feels isolated and feels like everyone's kind of maneuvering around her, like all these like millions of people kind of like all these moving pieces, and yet she's kind of lonely in the middle of that, you know. Your wife waters flowers, I want to kill her. So it's a story-based song about like having a fortnight romance that's happening whilst this other person has a wife, you know. It's like they have a partner and they're lying to her about it, you know. And I love you, it's ruining my life. I love you, it's ruining my life. I touch you, but only for a fortnight. Okay, so my obvious thought is that this could be about the Matty Healy romance, which I was so skeptical about at the time. But like since it's like, oh, okay, it was like a, you know, a moment. It was a rebound, really, wasn't it? And maybe it was a 2-week rebound, and maybe because like it's the timing and everything. So it seems as if maybe that inspired it and is what she's referring to, but like it's quite clear that there is a clear storyline going on. It's like open enough that it could be about any sort of romance within this kind of narrative frame of somebody who like she shouldn't have fallen in love with, you know, because they already had, you know, a relationship. My husband is cheating, I want to kill him. Interesting. Maybe that's a different perspective. Yeah, very interesting. As always, I always want to hear what you guys think about this. So make sure to leave in the comments what you think about every song. I want to hear everything. Don't forget to leave your top 5 from the album in the comments. I want to hear your top 5s. They're usually different to mine, and I'll be giving you my top song at the end of the album. Okay, cool. Next song, let's go on to the Tortured Poets department. Very sparse 80s style drum machine.
You left your typewriter at my apartment. Tortured Poets department.
I love this as a setup.
Uses typewriters anyway. And who's gonna hold you like
Cool.
who's gonna know you if I leave?
Who's gonna hold you like me?
No fucking body.
Back when Taylor never used to swear, and now it's like, she just throws it in all the time.
We declare Charlie Puth should be a bigger artist.
And now he will be.
But I've read this one where you come undone. Hold you.
I love that jump in melody. That's really lovely.
I'm Dylan Thomas. I'm not Patty Smith.
I don't know who those people are.
I read you.
Who's gonna hold you like me? Maybe it's like after leaving someone and how is a new person ever gonna compare to me type thing, you know?
You'd kill yourself if I ever leave. And I had said about you.
My God.
Who else is gonna know me? Take my ring off my middle finger and put it on the one wedding ring.
Oh, shit.
Exploding.
Wow.
We're two idiots.
I love that. Oh, I love that little rhythm. It's like the typing. Yeah, lovely. I really love the melody of that. Like, maybe this album's going to be a wash over you mood album, because like so far it's really giving me that kind of vibe, you know? Like there were certain lyrics in there that just felt so like, just like really palpable, like that lyric with the like moving the ring from the middle finger to the ring finger. Like, oh God, is this like a proposal? And the fear that like conjured in her heart in that moment. And I really felt that, you know, so that was really nicely written. It's not like blowing me away production wise. I think like that's the thing, is that like I'm such a listener when it comes to production. At the same time, I'm one of these people who like obviously like reaction first day, but like I'm also very like open and willing, and I always give songs like at least a few chances to grow on me. So, you know, you left your typewriter at my apartment straight from the tortured poets department. I think some things I never say, like who uses typewriters anyway? But you're in self-sabotage mode, throwing spikes down on the road. But I've seen this episode and still love the show. Who else decodes you? I love all the kind of references to like decoding and typewriting, and like how that links to like a very kind of almost like 20s kind of murder mystery type thing, you know, writing on a typewriter, Agatha Christie, Murder, She Wrote, you know, it's all those kinds of vibes in that, in the lyricism there. And I feel like she's talking to herself in this moment, like you are sabotaging yourself by getting too in your feelings maybe, but she's kind of obsessed with decoding herself, you know. Who's going to hold you like me, and who's going to know you if not me? I laughed in your face and said, you're not Dylan Thomas, I'm not Patti Smith. This ain't the Chelsea Hotel, we're modern idiots. I guess it's about like a bit of a relationship, you know. She's kind of like undercutting it and kind of like being like, why are we taking ourselves so seriously, you know? You smoked and ate 7 bars of chocolate. We declared Charlie Puth should be a bigger artist. I scratch your head, you fall asleep like a tattooed golden retriever. But you awaken with dread, pounding nails in your head. I've read this one where you come undone. I chose this cyclone with you. There's quite an intimate kind of like insight into the relationship, you know. Sometimes I wonder if you're going to screw this up with me, but you told Lucy you kill yourself if I ever leave. And I had to say that to Jack about you, so I felt seen. Everyone we know understands why it's meant to be, because we're crazy. So tell me, who else is going to love you like me? At dinner, you take my ring off my middle finger and put it on the one people put wedding rings on. And that's the closest I've come to my heart exploding. But that's like a fear. I think this like, it really feels like almost like she's comparing their relationship to like a written novel, you know, a romance novel where everything's supposed to work out. She's almost saying that she's kind of written herself into this like perfect relationship, when actually the truth of it is that it isn't perfect. And when that moment does happen, when he takes the ring and puts it on her, the automatic reaction is very telling about how she truly feels about this relationship, and how actually, although they're pretending on the surface that it's this proper like romance novel style relationship, actually there's something really toxic about it. You know, the way in which she says, oh, like, I'll kill myself if you ever leave type thing. It's like intense, like it's too much. Okay, let's go on to the next one. This is My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. Okay.
The voices in his head.
Okay.
The sickest army.
I like the drums.
But you should have seen him when he first got me. My
Cool.
toes. Of sandcastles he destroyed.
I'm queen of sandcastles he destroys.
Should've known it was a matter of time.
Oh, this is more like it, huh?
There was a litany of reasons why he keeps
A litany of reasons.
saw me. My boy.
I love the melody that she's doing in the O sections. I wasn't sure how she was going to turn that like lyric into a melody, because it's quite kind of like long. Do you know what I mean? Nice. Wow. Told me I'm better off, but I know. Nice. I really enjoyed like where that song kind of built to. I feel like a lot of these songs seem to be like a bit of a simmering kind of slow build. Also, I really enjoyed the melody writing in that, and the way that she like used the O's in particular in order to kind of build up this like kind of tapestry of different melodies that kind of like echoed one another as it kind of developed. It was quite cool. Catchy. Genius. People seem to be completely don't know what they're doing in terms of like, is it about Joe? Is it about Matty? Who knows? Oh, here we go again. The voices in his head called the rain to the end of days, our wild, the sickest army doll purchased at the mall. Rivulets descend my plastic smile. All the lyrics so far have been really kind of like murky and misty and like atmospheric and like very much in the frame of like this character of like this tortured poet. It's really like she's definitely building a character through the lyricism, you know. But you should have seen him when he first got me. Oh, I see. So she's the toy. My boy only breaks his favourite toys. I'm the queen of sandcastles he destroys. Because it fit too right, puzzle pieces in the dead of night. I should have known it was a matter of time. Oh, my boy only breaks his favourite toys. So there's a real sense of like infantilizing the partner in this aspect, which I guess we're going to assume is probably Joe. And like, I love how she's like utilizing all these little moments, like the sandcastles and the puzzle pieces and all those kinds of things. Like, it's kind of cleverly referring to all this different kind of toy-like, childlike elements, you know? And the kind of ramifications for that as a reflection on their relationship really does kind of go to like show like how she's kind of soured, how she like now feels as if she's as worthless as a plastic doll, you know? And it's really nicely kind of like written, yeah. There was a litany of reasons why I could have played for keeps this time. I love that she's using words like litany and rivulets and stuff like that, because it's really like, it really is adding to this poet character that she's building. We could have played for keeps this time. I know I'm just repeating myself. Put me back on the shelf. See, I'm just repeating myself like a doll with a catchphrase, you know. But first pull the string and I'll tell you that he runs because he loves me. So she's almost now criticizing herself for getting stuck in the same kind of toxic loops, saying the same things, but that being a reference to being a toy with like a wind up toy with like there's a snake in my boot type, you know, like catchphrase type thing. That is actually so genius. As much as like on the production side, this album so far is like not like setting me alight. Lyrically, it really feels like she's stepping it up and trying to do something that is like extremely kind of complex and poetic. It's really nice. I felt more when we played Pretend than with all the Kens, because he took me out of my box, stole my tortured heart, left all these broken parts, told me I'm better off, but I'm not. Yeah. Oh, the broken parts, taking me out of the box, getting me out of my box, like really, like, it's so clever. Like all the other Kens representing all the other guys she's been with before, and actually she just found herself in it once again. Oh, it's kind of like this kind of idea of a loop, and this idea of being stuck to like what you're programmed to do is so clever and really plays in with this kind of toy aspect. And in terms of the relationship, it's like she's like, will I ever actually be able to find a relationship that really truly that is healthy? Like obviously this one she was in for like a long time and really thought it was the kind of relationship she was going to be in, but it kind of ending up the same, you know? And she's like, will I always be kind of stuck in as this like immovable toy object that is programmed to do one thing, you know? And that is like fall in love with people who will end up breaking her heart, you know? That's fucking genius. Like the lyricism in this is just really, really just next level. Okay, next song. This is Down Bad. Ooh.
Did you really beat me up?
Ooh.
Sparkling dust.
Wow.
Just to tell me I was the chosen one.
Wow.
I knew cosmic love. Now I'm
Florence reference.
I just thought it would make no difference.
Yeah, the teenage petulance, but then like a kind of teenage type line.
I might just not get up. I might stay down bad.
Oh, so she's like playing with this idea of like throwing a kind of teenage kind of hissy fit, you know?
Leave me here, naked and alone. In a
Wow. There's also a reference to an alien abduction.
For a moment, I was heaven struck.
Love that. Oof.
I might just die, it would make no difference.
Fuck it if I can't have him. Yeah. This is giving me a bit more Rebound energy. Kind of being like totally lost within your own thoughts and your own kind of like pain and like my life is not working out, what the fuck type thing.
Hostile takeovers, encounters closer and closer. I'll build you a fort on some planet. How dare you think it's romantic, leaving me safe and stranded.
Wow.
To fuck you if I can't have us.
Fuck you if I can't have us. Wow.
Now I'm down bad, crying at the gym. Fuck it if I can't have him. Fuck it if I can't have him.
If I can't have him, I won't have anybody. I mean, again, it's kind of like I'm a bit over the whole Jack Antonoff production style, if I'm completely honest. I find it interesting, like the little like bits and bobs that kind of get thrown in and they kind of add to the picture of the song. I understand that kind of aspect of it. But like, I mean, I was listening to a podcast with Jack Antonoff describing his production style the other day. It's just like a wash of different sounds just getting layered up on top of one another. But I feel like if that's your style and you just do it for every single project, then surely things are going to start sounding the same. And that's kind of the problem that I'm getting with the production so far on this album. It feels like it's too washed out. There's too much reverb. It's all just kind of a big like mood rather than it having a statement, you know? Like I want my production to have a statement, not just be a wash of sounds. But that said, like lyrically, I really liked that. Like I really love the idea that she's playing with this idea of writing from a teenage perspective. Taylor kind of within her kind of mythos has this kind of almost like stunted growth kind of part of her, you know, writing, like she's always connecting to childhood. It's interesting that she's being quite meta about it here, you know, and maybe she's starting to kind of pull apart the reasons why maybe she keeps on going for the wrong people. You know, did you really beam me up in a cloud of sparkling dust just to do experiments on? Tell me I was the chosen one. Showed me that this world is bigger than us, then sent me back where I came from. It's like the idea that she's dated somebody and they've showed her the potential of something greater, but then just jumped her back out, you know? For a moment, I knew cosmic love. Florence coming up soon. Now I'm down bad, crying at the gym. Everything comes out. Teenage petulance. Fuck it if I can't have him. I might just die. It would make no difference. Down bad, waking up in blood, staring at the sky. Come back and pick me up. Fuck it if I can't have us. I might just not get up. I might stay down bad. I really, really love that. Like the idea that she's just like basically throwing a hissy fit, but like really kind of in a meta way, you know, it's like this person has shown me something that a potential that I could have, but then just dumps me. And I just feel like, you know, if I can't have him, I won't have anybody, you know, they'll say I'm nuts if I talk about the existence of you. So maybe this is giving me like Matty Healy vibes because it's like, or I don't know, I don't want to try and connect every single song to a person, but the character in this is like somebody who had a whirlwind romance and been shown the possibility of something new, but then just thrown away without kind of any care. And is kind of now stuck back in their hometown like a child, being like a teenager, you know. I loved your hostile takeovers encounters closer and closer. All the little references to like alien warfare, they're very interesting. Because fuck it, I was in love, so fuck you if I can't have us. I love what she's doing with the lyrics. Oh my God, I'm only 4 songs in. Oh my God, this is crazy. Okay, next song, this is So Long London. Is it going to be a reference to Joe? Probably, London Boy. I like that. Also, this is song 5, isn't it? Ugh. Okay, Jack, you can stop doing wiggly bits now. But I like the pace of this, really do like the pace of this.
Tighter each time he was drifting away. Wet through my clothes, weary bones caught the chill.
Wow.
Think I had.
Wow. How much sad did you think I had in me?
Someone me at the house by the Heath.
Oh, this is definitely about Joe. Hampstead Heath, fuck.
You let me give you all that youth for free.
Wow, fuck.
One gun.
2 graves, 1 gun. Romeo and Juliet vibes.
My wife.
Wow.
Dying grip.
Shit, this is really fucking revealing all. Wow.
You're not sure if he wants to be there.
I love where this is going. The amount of tension that's built up to this point is so great.
I died on the altar waiting for the proof.
Oh my God.
I'm just getting
Oh, wow.
this place.
So now she's like, I fucking loved London and now I have to say goodbye to it because of you. So this one's really giving me like, she was waiting for him to kind of prove himself and actually like marry her potentially, but he didn't. Oh, well, that was definitely my favorite one so far. That one really hits home. Fucking hell. Like she really just was like, here's everything. Here's all the fucking gossip. She does not like leave it up to the imagination whatsoever about who that might have been about. Let's be honest. I guess we knew it from the title, but oh my God, like Fuck. Her saying goodbye to the Heath as well. I took photos. Me and my boyfriend took photos for the photos for my new song that's coming out next week on Hampstead Heath. She wasn't there. Yeah, that was definitely my favourite so far. That one, although we still have the kind of murky, heavy reverb vibes, the persistent kind of feeling really kind of gave it a little bit more character, you know, really kind of like built it up somewhere and gave it just this kind of amount of tension. I think part of me wanted it to go mad off at the end, but still, like, what she did with it, I still really enjoyed. Yeah, that song came together much more than the first four for me. I saw in my mind fairy lights through the mist. I kept calm and carried the weight of the rift, pulled him in tighter each time he was drifting away. My spine split from carrying us up the hill, wet through clothes, weary bones caught the chill. Okay, so we've got like a Titanic reference, presumably, where it's like, like a ship sinking. That is really the point. And it's London, like the history of like the boats coming in and out of London, you know, it's really giving me that kind of historical kind of energy. She's going off on the boat, but the boat was kind of sinking. You know, she was trying to carry the weight of this relationship. He was drifting away and she was trying to hold on to him. This metaphor works on so many levels. Oh my God, it's so good. And like, wet through my clothes, weary bones caught the chill. So she's like, this ship went down and I've been trying to keep you going. I've been trying to keep this relationship going. This relationship. Oh my God, it worked so well. Ugh, thinking, how much sad did you think I had? Did you think I had in me, or the tragedy? So long, London, you'll find someone. I didn't opt in to be your odd man out. I founded the club she's heard great things about, like a boat club. I left all I knew, you left me at the house by the Heath. I stopped CPR after all, it's no use. The spirit was gone. We would never come to. And I'm pissed off you let me give you all that youth for free. And you say I abandoned the ship, but I was going down with it. White knuckled, dying grip, holding tight to your quiet resentment. Oh my God. And my friends said it isn't right to be scared. Every day old love affair, every breath feels like the rarest air when you're not sure if he wants to be there. Oh my God. My white knuckled dying grip, holding tight to your quiet resentment is just too fucking much. I love it. You swore that you loved me, but where were the clues? I died on the altar waiting for proof. You sacrificed us to the gods of your bluest days, and I'm just getting colour back into my face. I'm just mad as hell because I love this place. So long, London. Had a good run, a moment of warm sun, but I'm not the one. Oh my God. Just beautiful poetry, just stunning. Like the levels of the boat and the ship and the lying it, and it's giving me the image of like old, kind of almost like Victorian London. I can see her pictured in like a old, like, you know, old dress with a bloody hat and a whatever and an umbrella. And she's like going away, she's sailing away on the ship to the Americas, you know. It's just the imagery, like the poetry and like the just fucking lines that just cut through to the bone, like, oh, like really revealing this relationship to have been one of slow burn, quiet resentment that just got too much, and she hung on for too long. You know, she tried to keep going, she tried to put it together, but it got to the point where she valued her own sanity over this dying relationship, this slowly dying relationship, and so she abandoned ship. You know, just beautifully written there. That's definitely the best song so far. Really good. Okay, next song. This is gonna be a long video. This is But Daddy, I Love Him. Let's go.
I forget how the West was won. I've learned these.
Oh, I like the combination of acoustic guitars and stuff. This feels like a freedom.
These people try and save you.
Ooh. Oh, lovely.
To rise above it.
This is giving me like a merge between the Midnight sound and the Folklore Evermore sound, which I'm completely on board with.
Screaming, but Daddy, I love him.
Oh. Oh, again, more of this kind of childlike thing, almost like how we're reduced to these things, you know.
Tucked into a woven braid.
Ugh.
Not growing up at all. It was chaos. Lord knows the words. Just screeching tires of true love.
Wow.
I'm not but
Did she say I'm having a baby? I'm not, but you should see your face. I love this. The picture that she's painting throughout all these songs, this kind of level of like intrinsic kind of poetry, is just really beautiful.
Sanctimoniously performing soliloquies.
Sanctimoniously performing soliloquies. It's just fucking hell. Ah.
A lot of people in town that I scandal does funny things to pry, but brings lovers closer. Parents and they came around. Moms are even my daddy just loves him.
Okay, so we've turned around. Classic Taylor storytelling. I love it. This is Mary's Song Part 2. Cool. I just love that she's playing with the fucking listeners. It's gonna give us all a fucking heart attack. I feel that's directly pointed at us people reacting to this. Oh dear, so funny. Again, more playing with this idea of youth, you know. I feel like it's something that she's touched upon in previous albums, like this kind of youthful connection to romance. But like here it feels like she's really diving into that and pulling it apart in different ways. Yeah, I loved that. What a classic story. And I really liked the use of like the acoustic guitar as well as the kind of synthy noises that kind of gave it a little bit more of something interesting going on. And it really kind of built up to a lovely place. Like the chorus felt like it had oomph, which like the first few songs were missing. Really, I love that. Such a good story. This idea of this like impassioned person who's like in love and it's like, no, but I love him even though he's a cad. And like the family are like, no, he's no good for you. And she's like, well, but I love him anyway. This one for me really does, it's like fictional fantasy. This plays into this whole character of this tortured poet who's like sat there writing stories on a typewriter. Like I really just adore like the way in which the kind of poetic language throughout every single song is really playing into this character of this like almost like a poet gone by, somebody who cares about like the intricacies of the English language and purposely using flowery words and different words to challenge the listener, but also to kind of create like this kind of old romantic kind of like vibe, you know. It's like touching into something from the past, and like every single song links into this style of writing, and I just think it's really, really clever like how that is like the main character, and how like through all the imagery and stuff and through the like teasing lyrics and like, you know, all the stuff that's been going on online, it feels as if like the actual lyrics of the songs are not letting down in that regard. It all actually does play into that image. I forgot how the West was won. I forget if this was ever fun. I just learned these people only raise you to cage you. Sarah's and Hannah's in their Sunday best, clutching their pearls, sighing, what a mess. I just learned these people try and save you because they hate you. Now I'm running with my dress unbuttoned, screaming, but daddy, I love him. I'm having his baby. No, I'm not, but you should see your faces. I'm telling him to floor it through the fences. No, I'm not coming to my senses. I know it's crazy, but he's the one I want. So it's like this like character who's like, she will say anything to kind of get a reaction out of them, to be like, I'm having his baby. I mean, that's a lie, but like, come on, like, please. I really like that kind of level of humor in it, but also like the way that she's building up this kind of young girl who's like fallen in love for the wrong person, and like everybody in the polite society is like looking down on her, but she's like, I don't care. It really is like this story is really playing into that kind of old style imagery. Like I'm really picturing her in like an old like Western town, you know. Dutiful daughter, all my plans were laid, tendrils tucked into a woven braid. Growing up precocious sometimes mean not growing up at all. He was chaos, he was revelry. Bedroom eyes like a remedy. Oh, soon enough the elders had convened down the city hall. I mean, this could be inspired by whirlwind romance, shall be unsaid. But like, it's truly a story, you know. The words we never heard, just screeching tires of true love. Love it. Just like lyric by lyric, beautiful. God save the most judgmental creeps who say that they want what's best for me. Sanctimoniously performing soliloquies I'll never say, fuck. Thinking it can change the beat of my heart when he touches me and counteract the chemistry and undo the destiny. You ain't gotta pray for me and my wild boy and all this wild joy. All I want is grey for me. Then it's just white noise. Then it's just my choice. Beautiful. I'm dancing in my dress in the sun and even my daddy just loves him. I'm his lady and oh God, you should see your faces. I love the beautiful turnaround of the story. Time doesn't it give some perspective? And no, you can't come to the wedding. I love the idea that she's painting this picture of this beautiful wild boy that she's just completely in love with. And like, I love that it actually turns around. They have a happy ending. It almost feels like a kind of like inspired by potentially Matty Healy romance, but like, what if this was a story with a happy ending, you know? It's really given me what if, you know? Oh my God, I'm spending so much time on every single song. Let's go on the next song. This is Fresh Out the Slammer.
I'm running back home to you. I know who my first call will be to. Burning thunder, he don't understand me.
Low Taylor. Me.
With her in dreams.
When we going psychedelic, are we?
For just 1 hour of sunshine. I'm running back home to you.
Nice. I love this imagery. Someone who's just come out of prison and they're like, there's one person I'm going to run to.
Flashes, welcome bashing. I will never lose my baby again.
I love that. I'll never lose my baby again, you know. I'm never going to make that mistake of going back to prison.
All those nights he kept me going, swirled you into all of my poems. I'm running.
Ooh.
We still
Ooh, hello. Fun tempo change.
I'm a girl of his American dreams. Ain't no way I'm gonna screw up now that I know what's at stake.
I love that. And I love how it's almost like kind of lurching, you know? This idea linking back to the childhood kind of romance before adult life kind of got in the way. Oh, I love that. What a cool song. Really like a bit of a fake out in terms of like the way it's shifted. And I love this story of somebody like just having got out of prison, going straight to this one person. It could like speak to like a kind of a friend or like maybe who's someone like she dreamed of dating when she was a child or something. And now she's fresh out of prison. She's like, oh, there's one person I'm going to go to and I'm going to beeline for you. And it's like, I just love the kind of visceral energy that she put into that. And I really liked how the kind of lurching element of it in the second half kind of almost gave it this like feeling of like, I had this idea that I was going to run straight to you, but actually like the mistakes of my past, the pain from my past, and my time in prison has actually wounded me. And all I can do is really lurch, you know, that's maybe a bit galaxy brain, but like that's the vibe that it was giving me, you know, like, now pretty baby, I'm running back home to you, fresh out the slammer I know my first call is to. Another summer taking cover, rolling thunder. He doesn't understand me. Splintered back in the winter, silent dinners, bitter. He was in her dreams, grey and blue and fights and tunnels, hang off to the spell I was under. More like little references to the overall theme of the song, you know, years of like labour, yeah, locks and ceilings in the shade of how he was feeling, but it's going to be all right, I did my time. Maybe it's like one relationship being the metaphor for the prison and the new relationship or a friendship that maybe she'd let, you know, go of when she'd been in this relationship. Maybe the friendship is the thing that she's running to, you know? And as I said in my letters, now that I know better, I will never lose my baby again. My friends tried but wouldn't hear it, watched me daily disappearing just for one glimpse of his smile. On those nights you kept me going, swirled into all of my poems. Now we're at the starting line, I did my time. Maybe there was like a hint of something was gonna happen before, but then she got caught up in this long relationship. And it is the metaphor for this prison that she's kind of stuck in this thing. She's trying to make this long-term thing work and it's not working. But she was kind of like trapped in it in a way. But now she's finally managed to free herself. Maybe she's like, now I can go back to actually what's important, you know, to the house where you still wait up on that porch like gleams, to the one who says I'm the girl of his American dreams. And no matter what I've done, it wouldn't matter anyway. Ain't no way I'm going to screw up. Now that I know what's at stake, at the park where we used to sit on children's swings wearing imaginary rings. But it's gonna be alright. I did my time. Wow. Oh, there's so much in that I really, really like. Again, like this really visceral storytelling is just peak. She's really like firing on all cylinders in terms of the storytelling. Like I can't, just so good. Okay, next is a duet with Florence and the Machine. I hope this is not a Snow on the Beach situation. Oh, I love Florence and the Machine, if you don't already know. I mean, you probably do know. Following on from the collaborating with people who are also working with Jack Antonoff, like you can see the lines, like, you know. But yes, this is Florida with Florence. Okay, let's go.
You can beat the heat, just two.
Nice.
Sweet or little babies.
Okay.
Crazy.
It's like an escape place, right?
Work your life away.
Really like the melody.
Florida.
Oh, great. Oh, I'm into this, yes.
Hurricane with my name when it's
Florence!
in the bathroom with a bottle on. Well, me. Yes, I'm haunted, but I'm feeling just fine. All my girls got that.
Just Florence. Fucking Florence.
No one asks any questions here.
Okay.
Bodies that have ever been on my body and in my mind.
Florence is just the best vocalist in the world. I just love her.
Bad thing to say in a song. So you pack your life away just to wait for it all.
Oh, I'm obsessed. This feels like such a cool merging of Taylor sounds and Florence sounds, you know.
Baby, them in Florida. Florida, tell me I'm despicable. It's one hell of a drive. Florida, did you know your home's really on
This is fucking great. I'm so glad it's good.
shitstorm back in Texas.
Yeah. Love the huge moments followed by the little moments. So good. Florida, come fuck me up. Oh, fuck. Yes, I fucking love that. Oh, God, I'm so happy that that the Florence collab was good, because I'm still burnt by the Gaga Florence collab that I thought was going to be my dream song and ended up didn't really feel it that much. Oh my God. That was so good. Florence just added so much to it as well. Like, and the vocal production and Florence's voice, I have to say, was beautiful, capturing every tiny little detail within her voice, keeping her voice really, really dry and in your ear. It's just... I feel like it was such a kind of almost like a literal translation of Taylor, almost like quiet, moody moments and big Florence moments where it kind of boom, 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 boom. Really just, and then back to kind of quiet was just like really clever and really nice way to merge the style of Florence with Taylor's style, you know? The whole point of the song being that like Florida's this like, it's like a holiday state. It's all built around the holiday industry. And so it becomes this town for people to lose themselves in, to get a break from their real life, you know? And she's like, I'm just here to get fucked up, basically. What was it? Florence's line, I'm haunted, but it's all right. You know, like the fact that I have all these demons that I'm running away from in this place, but it's fine because we're just going to live within that right now. So good. You could beat the heat if you beat the charges too. They said I was a cheat. I guess it must be true. And my friends all smell like weed or little babies. And the city reeks of driving myself crazy. So that's the kind of like modern millennial lifestyle. Like either you're having kids or you're just like smoking weed all the time. That's really like a bit of a thing that's kind of going on with a lot of people at the moment, you know. So you work your life away just to pay for a timeshare down in Destin. Presumably that's in Florida. Florida is one hell of a drug. Yeah, really, really nicely written. Like this kind of existential analysis of what is life. We're just working our lives, working ourselves to the bone just to be able to afford to go on holiday. It's like, what is this, you know? The hurricane with my name, when it came, I got drunk and dared it to wash me away. Obviously, we've got hurricanes, very Florence vibe. We're getting washed away, very Florence vibe. Barricaded in the bathroom with a bottle of wine. Getting drunk, Oh, I love it. She's really got such a strong signature. Well, me and my ghost, we had a hell of a time. Fucking great. And yes, I'm haunted, but I'm feeling just fine. Taylor Swift reference. All my girls got their lace and their crimes, and your cheating husband disappeared when no one asked any questions here. So there's a real sense of like you can do whatever you want, and you like it's you and your ghosts having a party. The fears of your past that you haven't actually gotten over, you're just delaying the inevitable, but that's fine because that's where we are. You know, we're in Florida, you know. Oh, so good. And I did my best to lay to rest all the bodies that have ever been on my body. Oh, all the exes trying to get over, trying to find closure. And in my mind, they sink into the swamp. Is that a bad thing to say in a song? Love that little mare reference. That's so good. And obviously the swampy references of Florida. Little did you know your home's really only the town you'll get arrested. So you'll pack your life away just to wait out the shitstorm back in Texas. I'm not sure what that's a reference to, because neither of them are from Texas. I need to forget to take me to Florida. I've got some regrets. I'll bury them in Florida. Tell me I'm despicable. Say it's unforgivable. At least the dolls are beautiful. Fuck me up, Florida. Oh, I love it. I love that line. Fuck me up, Florida. It's just so good. Oh, that is so... Maybe that's my favourite song so far. Let's go on to the next one. This is Guilty as Sin. Like the real drums there.
I hadn't heard it in a while. My boredom's bone deep. Am I allowed to cry? Dream of cracking locks. Throw passion into him tonight. Oh, mad or why?
Okay.
Only in my mind.
Nice. I like the melody.
What a way to die.
There's a lot of imagery of like throwing everything away, you know.
Guilty as sin. In lowercase inside a vault.
The vault is made its way into a song itself.
We've already done it in my head. And on my upper thigh, only in my
Yeah.
crashing over my grave.
Wow.
Guilty as sin.
Without ever touching a sin, how could I be as guilty as sin?
They're gonna crucify me anyway.
Wow.
Bring propriety.
She's really into the words.
Religiously.
Wow.
What if
Oh,
he's
it's not it.
in my mind? Way to die. Skin
There's like maybe a sense of like,
as sin.
yeah, like something she's being accused of that she's not, you know? She's like, I never actually touched this person, you know?
Am I
Is that a banjo?
allowed to cry?
I like the energy of that one, the feeling of that one, like the push and the pull of it. Yeah, like the kind of aching feeling of it was really, really satisfying. Like, again, like production, like not really sending me off the face of the planet again, but like the lyricism is really what is kind of making it. Drowning in the blue Nile, he sent me downtown light. I hadn't heard it in a while. My boredom's bone deep. This cage was once just fine. Am I allowed to cry? I dream of cracking locks, throwing my life to the walls or the ocean rocks, crashing into him tonight. He's a paradox. I see visions. Am I bad or mad or wise? So there's a sense of like, almost like trying to like break herself out of this relationship. And she's like thinking of like even the most drastic measures to get out of it, you know? And she's like, am I going crazy? You know, what if he's written mine on my upper thigh? Only in my mind. One slip, I'm falling back into the hedge maze. Oh, what a way to die. I keep recalling things we never did. Messy top lip kiss. How I long for our tryst without ever touching his skin. How can I be guilty as sin? So there's maybe like a sense of like dreaming of a different romance and feeling like guilty for it, even though you've never actually cheated on somebody. Really interesting reference to the song Mine, you know, because the song Mine is about like a relationship that she made up. Like it's like a dream. It's like a storyline that's like fantasy that she's written. And here she's talking about like potentially writing a fantasy about somebody else, even though she's potentially with Joe or whatever. She's writing this fantasy of being in a relationship with somebody else. And it's like, the connection to mine is actually really, really clever. I really think that's so good. I keep these longings locked in a lower case inside a vault. Someone told me there's no such thing as bad thoughts, only your actions talk. These fatal fantasies giving way to laboured breath taking all of me. We've already done it in my head. If it's make-believe, why does it feel like a vow? So yeah, so it's fantasizing about being with somebody else and like trying to lock down those feelings and not actually act on it. But it's almost like this idea that she is thinking about acting on it because it's like, oh, then I can sabotage this current relationship and get out, you know? Oh, really nicely written, yeah. The lyrics on this album are next level. I really love it. Next song, this is Who's Afraid of Little Old Me?
The who's who of who's that? Tell me about sad.
It's got westerny vibes.
So I leap from the gallows.
Cool.
And levitate down your street. A little old me.
Haha, cool.
You should be.
Oh, amazing. This is Taylor Swift's villain era song. Oh no, she's had multiple of those.
The scandal.
I'm enjoying this. It's almost like a Marvel movie, isn't it? Like a superhero, supervillain thing.
So I leap from the gallows.
From the gallows. Really playing into this old Western kind of imagery that she seems to be playing into in multiple songs.
Circus life made me be. Don't you?
Yeah.
So tell me everything.
Cool.
Is not a, but what if it is?
Ooh, that's kind of mental.
What if they did?
It's like a paranoia. It is almost like the origin story of a villain, like getting paranoid and then going and like destroying everyone.
They raised me.
Yeah, wow.
I'm always drunk on my own tears. Fearsome and I'm wretched.
This really is like fulfilling that story of the torture poet alone in her house.
Singing along. Crash the party like a record scratch as I scream.
Oh, it's kind of giving me like WandaVision vibes as well. You know, like someone who is broken and ends up like destroying everything, you know?
Should be, you should be, you caged me.
Yeah. You caged me, then you called me crazy. Cool. I really enjoy this, like her kind of stepping into this villain character. How threatening. Oh, I love it. Really cool. Yeah, what an interesting character to like, and it like the kind of comparison to her career and the way that like this kind of victimhood that she taps into in terms of like the way that she's been treated in the media and the way that she's been treated in her career. She's really tapping into that to kind of write a song about somebody who was like caged and like forced to become an evil person, you know. I love this imagery of her like breaking out of the gallows where she's been like sentenced to death, floating down the street and destroying everything. Like it's really, really cool, but really plays into this like idea of this character who is like this lonely poet who's been driven crazy by isolation, who like just wants to find love and find true romance, but has been dashed at every single turn and has been disregarded and put into a cage and has therefore let these feelings fester. You know, it's like she's drinking her own tears, like the kind of like drunk on my own tears, like this idea, this cyclical nature of like just ingesting your sadness and just expressing it out, just it festering, you know, and it creating this character who is like evil and like goes and like destroys everything, but she has a tragic backstory. It's very cool. It's really giving me, yeah, like kind of like Marvel kind of references, like in, you know, the kind of like super villain origin story, which I think is so cool that she's tapping into this. Really, really cool. It's like she's written a superhero villain story and you can feel the kind of empathy that she has for that character, you know, because maybe in her life she's been pushed to do things and pushed to become somebody that she's not always proud of, you know. Yeah. If you wanted me dead, you should have just said, nothing makes me feel more alive. So I leap from the gallows and I levitate down your street, crash the party like a record scratch. I scream, who's afraid of little old me? You should be. So good. That's so good. Is it a wonder I broke? Let's hear one more joke. Then we could all just laugh until I cry. I was gentle till the circus life made me mean. Don't you worry, folks. We took out all her teeth. Who's afraid of little old me? I just love like the imagery and the storytelling is just fucking brilliant. So tell me, everything is not about me, but what if it is? You know, oh, they say it didn't do it to hurt me, but what if they did? I want to snarl and show you just how disturbed this has made me. You wouldn't last an hour in the asylum where they raised me. That I'm fearsome and I'm wretched and I'm wrong. Put narcotics in all of my songs, and that's why you're still singing along. It's like taking all these things that people have said about her and her career and really blurring the lines between this character of this like witch character and her. And like, it's really, really interesting. Like, yeah, that's really just so brilliantly woven. The lyrics of that song are really great. Okay, next song. This is I Can Fix Him. No, I Really Can.
The smoke cloud billows out his mouth.
This has definitely got to have Aaron Dessner on it, hasn't it? I really like this sound.
Tell him he's my man, but I can fix him. No, really I can't. Only I can. 6-lane Texas highway.
I love the like shimmering guitar. It's really giving kind of Western vibes, you know.
He just hadn't met me yet. No, really I can't.
I love the way that kind of is conversational, you know, like someone's automatically rebutting it, you know.
Handle me a dangerous man.
I can handle me a dangerous man. Cool.
Good Lord didn't need to lift a finger. Maybe I can't.
See, that is the truth of it. And you know that it's very knowing. The whole way through, it feels very knowing, doesn't it? You know, no, I can. I promise I can. And then right at the end, she's like, actually, maybe I can't. Yeah, I think we've all been tempted by relationships like that, where you're with someone who it's like, you know, a bit messed up and you kind of think, oh, no, I can fix this person. It kind of tale as old as time, and it's a very relatable feeling, you know. The smoke cloud billows out of his mouth like a freight train through this small town. Again, more like tying into this old, like I'm really picturing most of this album. It's this blurry mix between real life and this kind of fantasy, kind of almost like old Western town, you know, like with the gallows and the you know, and like the old like steam trains, and you know, it's really taking it to that kind of era in so many moments. Like the jokes told across the bar are revolting and far too loud. They shake their heads saying, God help her, when I tell him he's my man. But good Lord doesn't need to lift a finger. I can fix him. No, I really can. And only I can. So there's a real kind of obsessive kind of quality to this relationship too. His pistol softly traces hearts on my face. So that's like really more, it's like a cowboy, you know. He had a halo of the highest grade. He just hadn't met me yet. So there's a sense of actually this character is actually ruining these people just to try and fix them type. Do you know what I mean? It's like, come here, good person, good, like, you know, well-to-do guy. I'm going to ruin you. And then I'm going to tell everybody that you're the bad person and I'm trying to fix you. It's like and then right at the end, she's like, oh no, I can't. She leaves them in a wake. It's like a kind of, yeah, there's a kind of villainous energy to this one too. Like there's just so much beautiful kind of detail in the storytelling. I just still don't really feel like the production lives up to it. There's so much potential for like really engaging storytelling through the production that matches the lyrics. But I just feel like a lot of it is just like a ambient wash and doesn't really excite me that much, you know. It's lacking a bit of sonic character, you know. Let's come to the next one. This is Alomel. I don't know what that means. Okay, let's go. Just piano.
Who's gonna stop us from waltzing back into rekindled flames? We were just kids, babe. I thought I was better safe than starry-eyed.
I thought I was better safe than starry-eyed. Wow.
You and I go from one kiss to getting married. In your suit and tie, the love of your life.
Said I'm the love of your life. Oh, fuck.
A million times. Our impressionist paintings of heaven turned out to be fakes. Took me to hell too.
Wow. impressionist paintings of heaven turned out to be fakes.
If you know it in one glimpse, it's legendary. You cinephile, all those plot twists and dynamite. I'm the love of your life.
There's this idea that like she's been taken for a ride, you know.
Recall how we almost had it all.
Oh my God.
Cause something counterfeits dead. Valiant roar, what a bland goodbye. A field of dreams engulfed in fire.
That's gorgeous. I'm just so totally lost in the world of this one. Like the lyrics are just so stunning.
You're the loss of my
Love of my life. LOML. Loss of my life. Oh my God. Heartbreaking. Fucking heartbreaking. Oh my God. Oh my God. She thought it was everything. You kept telling me that I was the love of your life. And yet it was all fake. It wasn't real. It didn't work. It wasn't true. You lied. He believed it, even though inside he knew it wasn't perfect. He still kind of willed himself to believe it, almost like seeing it too much in order to kind of will it into existence. But the truth was that it didn't ever work, you know? Just stunning. And like simple, liked that it just started with the piano and everything. Like really, yeah. Who's going to stop us from waltzing back into rekindled flames? If we know the steps anyway, we embroider the memories of time I was away. I thought I was better safe than starry-eyed. I felt a glow like this, never before, never since. I feel like maybe there must have been like a point in their relationship where they had some kind of break, because like it seems as if like she's really exploring this idea that like she's falling back into it, you know. And your suit and tie in the nick of time. Low down, boy, you stand up guy. Holy ghost, you told me I'm the love of your life. You said I'm the love of your life about 1,000,000 times. It's like overstating it. Who's going to tell me the truth when you blew in with the winds of fate and told me I reformed you, when your impressionist paintings of heaven turned out to be fakes, where you took me to hell too. And all at once the ink bleeds, a con man sells a fool a get love quick scheme. I felt a hole like this, never before, never since. You cinephile in black and white, all these plot twists and dynamite. Mr. Steal your girl, then make her cry, said I'm the love of your life. It's almost like this idea of this like movie as something that she's been like living in, like this, the romance is this fake kind of movie. And this is the real moment where she realized it was all a painting. It was all a projection of what they wanted from a dream romance and actually not the truth of a dream romance, you know? You shit talk me under the table, talking rings and talking cradles. Yes, I wish I could unrecall how we almost had it all. Dancing phantoms on the terrace. Are they secondhand embarrassed that I can't get out of bed? What a valiant roar, what a bland goodbye. The coward claimed he was a lion. Our fields of dreams engulfed in fire. Your arsons match your somber eyes. And I'll still see until I die. You're the loss of my life. Yeah, fuck, that's so sad, huh? You know? Oh, just that imagery, like the field of dream engulfed in fire is fucking... It's just so sad that like the thing that she thought she had, the love, the true love that she thought she had is now a field of dreams. She realized that it was all just dreams. It was all just a projection of what they wanted. And now the truth's come out. It's all ablaze, you know? And now she feels like a gaping hole, like a loss, like she's lost that time, like she's lost a part of herself, you know? It's like just fucking really, yeah, wow. Okay, next one. This is I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. Okay, interesting sample. This is kind of almost giving me like on tour and still persisting, even though I'm fucking heartbroken vibes. Yeah. Yeah, it's at the beginning of a show. Yeah. Breaking down, I hit the floor. The crowd was chanting more. I was screaming like I'm with a broken heart. It's my birthday. Oh my God, I love this. Wow. So underneath the service, there's all this tragedy going on, and yet she goes onto the stage, she puts on her smile, and she gives you what you want. Fuck. Great. So good. I've been doing it since he left. I love all that like murmurings of conversation, like the pressure in the background. The crowd is waiting, the people are waiting, they need you. Show starts, and it feels like the chorus is like, the show is on, we're pretending that everything's fine. Oh, wow.
Crowd was chanting more. I was hitting my marks.
Oh, fucking hell, this is so good.
I'm so obsessed with him, but he avoids me.
Even the way she's singing, it's like, ha 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 ha, like she's singing her own songs about loving this guy, even though she's broken up with him. She has to pretend. Oh, my God.
You know you're good.
Yeah, there is a feeling of strength in it, though, you know? Ooh.
I'm miserable.
Oh, my God. Fuck.
I cover my job.
Oh my God, I needed that song. Oh my God, it feels like the song of like when it all happened, when they broke up, the news came out, she was fucking heartbroken, and she still had to go onto that stage, and she still had to sing fucking Lover, and she still had to sing Cruel Summer, and she still had to like put on the fake smile. You know, these songs, these love songs that she wrote for this guy, for this like that she, you know, truly felt for in the moment. When you listen to Lover, you know it. And she had to go out and sing those songs and celebrate those songs, even though she's fucking heartbroken. And God, that like the way that all the little samples kind of came in and added that extra level of pressure, like that guy counting down to the stage, you know, for it to all start and the show to start. And she's like, I'm fucking miserable, I'm singing out, and it kind of has like a kind of dark sense of humor to it, especially that low spoken bit where she's like, I'm fucking miserable, and it's like, oh my God, it's just like really dark, and it really feels like this song lets me in on like exactly how she was feeling in that moment, in such a kind of like not like murky way, in a completely obvious like truthful way. Like I really just like, I feel like this is such an engaging song for her to be singing and story to be telling us, you know. And the canvas for this song is the canvas from the Eras tour, whereas the canvas for the next one is like Tortured Poet stuff. So fuck it hell, that's so good. Oh my God, like that's the best song so far. I know there's like a few that I've really kind of loved, but that one just like, it just felt like such an engaging kind of thing to like, and it's such a truthful thing to just be like, I have to go out on stage and push past it and just keep working. This is my job, you know? I can read your mind. She's having the time of her life. There in her glittering prime, the light refracts sequin stars off her silhouette every night. I can show you lies. Everyone's talking about her. She's in the time of her life. She's having the biggest tour in the world. She's super, super successful. But the dark side of it is that she's completely broken. Because I'm a real tough kid. I can handle my shit. They said, baby, you got to fake it till you make it. And I did. Lights, camera, bitch, smile. Even when you want to die. He said he loved me all his life, but that life was too short. Breaking down, I hit the floor. All the pieces of me shatter as the crowd was chanting more. Oh, it's fucking visceral. Oh my God. I was grinning like I'm winning. I was hitting my marks because I can do it with a broken heart. Fucking hell. So there is a power in the fact that she's been able to do it, but it's a real tragedy that in the moment that she should be enjoying the success of her career, on the inside, she's completely heartbroken. All the pieces of me shatters, the crowd was chanting more. It's just so visceral, that lyric. Oh my God. Because I'm miserable and no one even knows. Try and come for my job. It's like she's writing this to herself. Like she's like, nobody in the world, all these millions of people who are watching me on the stage every night, don't know that I'm completely miserable. God, it really feels like we're getting a look in on something like really personal, you know? I loved that. That was so good. And it kind of was giving me the kind of pop energy as well that we haven't really had in this album so far. Okay, next song. This is The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. Oh, God.
Was any of it true?
Wow.
Who the fuck was that guy?
Yeah. Wow.
Buy some pills. I'm a friend of friends of mine, and I don't even want you back. I just want to know. Rusting my sparkling summer was the goal. Smallest man who ever.
Wow. Fucking hell. Oh God. To hear the pain in that breath reveals that although she's saying these horrible things, she still loves him.
In stoned oblivion. Once your queen had come.
Wow. This is the angry, potent song.
My sparkling summer was the goal.
Wow. The sparkling summer. It's like the cruel summer, but fucked.
Were you sent by someone? Did you sleep with a girl bed?
Oh.
All this be declassified, and you wasn't sexy once it wasn't forbidden.
Wow.
You deserve to slide into inboxes and slip through the bars. Kicked out the stage lights, but you're still performing.
Wow.
Whoever lived.
Wow. God. Just the pain in her voice through that song is just heartbreaking to like know the story of like how in love she felt and then to kind of like have it all completely break down and her to get to this point where she's so like upset with him that he's like she's villainizing him. It's like a kind of point of post relationship where everything gets fucked up and she like can't see past. She doesn't have perspective at this point. This is like, you are a fucking awful person who ruined everything. Like, but just to hear that kind of like truth in that feeling and like the pain in her voice and the anger in the way she's singing it and everything is just like so visceral and so relatable because everyone goes through those feelings post-relationship, you know. Was any of it true? Gazing at me starry-eyed in your Jehovah Witness suit. Who the fuck was that guy? You tried to buy some pills from friends of mine. They just ghosted you. And I don't miss what we had, but could someone give a message to the smallest man who ever lived? It's like we're not in contact anymore, but I need you to understand how much you fucked me up. You hung me on your wall, stabbed me with your push pins, in public showed me off, then sank into stoned oblivion. Because once your queen had come, you treat her like and also ran. I don't know what that means. You didn't measure up in any measure of a man. Were you writing a book? I would have died for your sins. Instead, I just died inside. And you deserve a prison, but you won't get time. God, it's just like a really just a constant just stream of like pain and like paranoia and like, yeah, it's very, very real. It really feels like she's just bleeding onto the page at this point. Like, let's go on to penultimate song. This is The Alchemy.
This happens once every few lifetimes. Chemicals hit me like white wine. I circled you on a map. I haven't come around in so long. So when I touched down,
nice.
who are we to fight the alchemy? That child's play back in school is
nice.
Touchdown, call the amateurs and cut them from the tee to fight the alchemy.
It's like a sense of like fate, isn't it? You know?
But this time with an E.
But it's almost like returning to an old romance. And like, what's the point in us trying to fight? You know, we belong together.
Where's the trophy? He just comes running over to fight the alchemy.
Who are we to fight the alchemy? Lots of references to like a sports team, I think.
Every few lifetimes. White wine.
Wow. Ooh. Yeah, I'm kind of a little bit confused about that, about the story of that song. Yeah, interesting. Who are we to fight the alchemy? Lots of references to like a football, I guess. I don't know. Sports. This happens once every... Oh, wait a second. I know what this is about. This happens once every few lifetimes. These chemicals hit me like a white wine. So when I touch down, call the amateurs and cut them from the team, ditch the clown, get the crown, baby, I'm the one to be. Because the sign of your heart said it's still reserved for me. So honestly, who are we to fight the alchemy? Maybe like her and Travis had a thing before. Because this is like really like so many different stories than this seem to be breaking free of the chains of an old relationship and the being in prison with this old relationship and going out to like connect with somebody who had reconnected with and letting it happen, you know? So it's really like maybe they were like friends before, and they actually, there was a connection there that we didn't know about. And now they're kind of falling back into this relationship. Those blokes won up the benches. We've been on a winning streak. He jokes it's heroin, but this time with an E. Oh, okay, because the son of your heart says still reserved for me. Honestly, who are we to fight the alchemy? So there is a connection to drugs as well, like, and maybe like that's something that this, I don't know, maybe it's Travis, maybe it's not, I don't know. Maybe it's just a fictional thing, but it seems as if this person like maybe had a problem with drugs in the past, but it's kind of got clean. And this time it's like, you're here to save me rather than me trying to use drugs to save myself type of thing. Shirts off and your friends lift you up over their heads. They said, there's no chance trying to be the greatest league. Where's the trophy? Just comes running over to me. So there's a real sense of like him being the championship football player and her being the prize, you know? And like, actually like, the alchemy of the situation, which seems to be like a kind of instinctive chemical reaction. Maybe in the past, they kind of felt that and it was a fling and it didn't really go anywhere. But now they're like, why fight that? Let's just give into this attraction. Yeah, and it's got to be about him. Like, obviously, like she used the words fucking touchdown. That the boys warming the bench are like all the old relationships kind of like just waiting to get to you, you know? Yeah, nice. Okay, before we go into the final song, this is a shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much, everybody who supports me on Patreon. All your names are coming up on the screen now. I'm going to try and tease this a little bit longer because last time I did it, it wasn't a long enough aspect because I have so many supporters. It was scrolling by like this. I was like, don't have time. Anyway, thank you guys for supporting me over on Patreon. You make me available to do what I do, or to only work part-time, and eventually I'll be able to hopefully go full-time in doing creative content, podcasts, music, all of that. But it's all down to you guys on Patreon who are actually making it happen month on month. So thank you so much. If you want to join over on Patreon, there's a lovely community of people who all love the same kind of music. There's loads of bonus content over there. So you actually get access to not only my uncut versions of my videos, but also you get access to all the reactions that are actually requested in the upper tiers. So if you were to join like the upper 3 tiers, you can either request songs, artists, or albums from me. And those videos go out to everybody eventually. And so there's loads of bonus content every month. You also get extended edition and video version of my podcast. And if you want to join Patreon now, my reaction to the second half of this double album is also up, uncut, unedited on there for you right now. Let's go on to the final song. This is Clara Bow, who is some sort of character that I don't know about, I think, from what I saw on Instagram. Anyway, let's go.
You look like Clara Bow, like a rose. It happened to me. Lights of Manhattan. Through smoke rings.
It's almost like she's inspired by this kind of fictional character, I think.
Stevie Nicks and 7. Crowd goes wild.
Or maybe there's some kind of like alter ego happening here.
Die if I made it.
I'm getting this image of like little Taylor in her small town dreaming of going to the place in her books, you know, like reading this story with this character and dreaming of being able to get to that place.
Beauty is a beast that roars.
Beauty and the Beast. Cute.
It's hell on earth, heavenly. You look like Taylor Swift in the light.
Huh.
God
Wow.
dazzling.
Wow. I really love how she turned around that last version of that verse that seems to reflect the first one that was like her talking about, you look like this Clara Bow character, and yet she twists it and says, you look like Taylor Swift. She's never mentioned her own name in a song before. It's like very interesting that she's kind of envisioning herself in this character. And then I think at the end, she sees that she's become that character. It's like, what of it now? You know, very interesting. I just like the storytelling and the lyricism on this is like amongst her absolute best. It really feels like she's perfected this style of like really intricate poetry that deserves to be like pulled apart. You look like Clara Bow in this light remarkable. All your life did you know you'd be picked like a rose? I'm trying not to exaggerate, but I think I might die if it happened. Die if it happened to me. No one in my small town thought I'd see the lights of Manhattan. This town is fake, but you're the real thing. A breath of fresh air through smoke rings. Love that. Yeah, it's a sense of her like looking up to this character, I guess, from a book, and like dreaming of being able to become that character as a little girl, you know. You look like Stevie Nicks in 75, the hair, the lips, the crowd goes wild at her fingertips, half moonshine, a full eclipse. It's almost like she's looking in the mirror and seeing all these things that inspired her as a child. And it's like, what I'm made of all these influences, the things that have, you know, like Stevie Nicks' live show in the 75, like inspiring me to want to be a live performer, or like the character Clara Bow inspiring me to be powerful or dazzling and all this kind of stuff. Beauty is a beast that roars down or falls, demanding more. Only when your girlish glow flickers just so do they let you know it's hell on earth to be heavenly. So it's like the dream comes with a cost, you know, the beauty comes with the beastliness. You look like Taylor Swift in this light, we're loving it. You've got edge, she never did. The future's bright, dazzling. So there's a real kind of hopeful message at the end that she has become who she wanted to be and she's continued to evolve. It's like looking at like now the past version of herself and how she's evolved past that, you know, as well. A really kind of hopeful, optimistic message to end the album on, that is really like an album that is like a poet at their typewriter, really wallowing in their own kind of misery, having to kind of recluse themselves to their writing room so that they can get out all of these tragic feelings and live within that kind of tragic bubble and just get it all out. And I really love how there's loads of like beautiful kind of through lines in the style of writing that just feels so well thought out, like the way in which the lyricism and the poetry all just like creates this character. It's like so interesting that all the songs can go to different places, but the style of writing is just so powerful. It just comes through and brings it all together. But I have to say that in general, the actual kind of production and some of the songcraft elements are really not really anything that interesting. It's such a shame because like the lyricism is like, it feels like an evolution in her career, step forward in her artistry. She's firing on all cylinders and like writing in a way that builds character into the writer's voice and like has so many levels to it and like all that stuff. But the production does not match that level. Like so much of it sounds the same. And it's so sad to say that because there is so much beauty in the potential here. My honest take on this is that I feel like Cruel Summer, Out of the Woods, Most of Reputation, Most of Lover, you know, Folklore, Evermore, Midnights, there were brilliant songs that have been written in collaboration with Jack Antonoff, but it just feels like this partnership has become too comfortable. I did look up the credits and I saw that Aaron Dessner's on here as well, and maybe the production bits I liked were Aaron Dessner's bits, but like it just feels like two people who are resting on their laurels don't have anybody saying this doesn't work or this isn't that interesting. There's nobody telling them no. And so they're just kind of doing it. And it's like, you need like a challenging voice. I feel like as an artist, like if you just live within your own bubble and everyone tells everything you do is great, then you're just going to write the same stuff again and again. You know, you're never going to grow. And as much as I feel like she's grown in her lyricism, I feel like the production side of it feels really stilted. And I think that's because Taylor needs a collaborator who's going to challenge her, not just set up another moody, reverb-heavy wash of sounds and get her to sing over it. Because that's kind of what it sounds like the Jack Antonoff collaboration is at this point. It's not the same point when they wrote Out of the Woods when it's exciting. It's a shame because I feel like there's so much potential in the storytelling that is not matched by the production. That said, I'm willing to be proved wrong by the other half of the album. It remains to be seen. I'm going to listen to that and react to that for you. And also, like a caveat that I always say, I'm willing for songs to grow on me. These reactions are always like my first reaction. And sometimes I listen to these albums a few times and it really needs a few listens. And I feel like there are songs on here that need a few listens in order to really grow on me. But actually, like if I film my bonus tracks reaction next week, then maybe I'll be able to return to a few of my opinions. My favorite song on the album at the moment is going to be I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. That one really did excite me. And I thought that the actual production on that was really, really good. It felt like there was a key theme, you know, this idea that she's kind of performing this bright pop song but on the inside is broken. Like, and that kind of worked its way into the production with the sounds of the crowd and the sounds of the stage manager and all that kind of stuff. And I just thought the story of that was just so revealing and so intriguing and so heartbreaking. Like, that was brilliant. Yes. Anyway, that's my opinion. Have to be honest. I'm always optimistic when I listen to these things, and I'm always open to having my mind changed. So make sure to let me know in the comments what you think about everything. And also make sure to leave your top 5 from the album in the comments as well, as we always do on this channel. Yeah, cool. I'm going to edit this back in. Also, if you want to check out my reaction to the Tortures Poets Department anthology songs, my reaction is here. And if you want to check out my Taylor Swift reaction playlist, it is here.